And as always, buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everybody. We are here for the first time in 2026, and I'm here with the two people who make this show truly what it is. The longtime co-host of mine and my longtime buddy, Mr. Brandon Furtado. Brandon, good to see you again. And, of course, the newest member of this family, Mr. Rob Szolosi of Millions, the leader of our football show, Football After Hours. Catch us on, I'll have Rob tell you what days we are because we're going to the off season. I honestly don't know what the hell we're doing.
This week our show is Monday night after Texans Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then during the regular season, you can catch us Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights after the football game for that respective night.
Yeah, for those respective. But yeah, this week is Monday. Doing? Yeah, we're doing great. This week is Monday, and then the rest of the way it's Sunday, other than the Super Bowl, which we're doing the day after because everyone's at parties and crap.
Yep.
So
yeah,
this
that makes
is our
sense.
only Monday.
I mean, I probably won't be at a party. Quite honestly, I'll probably just be blowing up y'all's phones during the Super Bowl, no matter who's in it. But we're looking forward to the football playoffs either way. It's good to have both of our teams in it. Rob's Seahawks and obviously Brandon's and my Eagles. Both teams once again in the playoffs. And
I swear to God, if we meet each other, I swear to heavenly God.
I'm kind of hoping for it. Not gonna lie.
I think the only way that we can have it going is in the NFC Championship.
Yes,
which is kind of funny because I won't finish that sentence. But
what the hell were you gonna say?
Give your bracket away.
Don't give that away.
I mean, I kind of just screwed myself there, but anyway, I'll completely pretend I didn't say that.
I'll be honest. I would expect you guys to have Seahawks Eagles as your NFC title game. I would expect that, so I don't think you're spoiling anything there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've already said it anyway. But
yeah,
anyway.
I'd be stunned if that's not your guys' NFC title game. I'll be honest. I don't think that's spoiling anything.
I mean, I just had the Seahawks as my number one team in the NFL, so having them in the NFC title game shouldn't surprise anybody.
I would cry tears of joy if we somehow were to get to that title game and we actually beat Seattle in Seattle for the first time in how many years?
Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw my message the other day in our group chat, but I went back. I did a little bit of research because that's me. I'm always doing dumb research, and there are only two teams that the Eagles are on multiple game losing streaks on. I think it's at least two games.
So it's Seattle and
it's the LA Chargers, which doesn't entirely even fully count because one of those games was in overtime.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And it's the Seattle in that game. I think that was 3 games.
Right.
And then it's Seattle, who we haven't beaten somehow in 18 years.
Yeah.
By the way,
actual hell is that?
It's been like 5. I think there was like 5 or 6 games because Russell Wilson for like 4 of those just owned the hell out of us.
Well, and then Drew Lock.
Yeah, but Wilson and Drew Lock, we're going back 5 years before Russell Wilson was even drafted.
Oh, Matt Hasselbeck era, Jesus, guys.
Yeah, so it's got to be like one or two for Hasselbeck, like another 2 for Russell Wilson.
I'm almost certain the last year that we beat them I think it was November of 2008 was the last time we beat Seattle.
Oh my God.
Jesus. So it was okay. So
for context, the first Super Bowl I ever watched was 2010.
Jesus. I think the first Super Bowl I watched was the Cardinals Steelers one, which is
okay. So that's the year before. That was the year before me.
I was gonna say my first was Colts Bears. That was mine.
I don't even know what the
hell I remember Colts Bears a little bit.
That's got to be that was 2006 then, because the Bears haven't won a Super Bowl in 38 years.
It's Prince's halftime. That's what I always remember it as.
Yeah.
My mom lost her mind recently because she was like, "How many group chats are you all in?" I'm like, "We're now in 7, I think. We're like in 6 or 7."
Like I have to mute them because my phone
6 or 7, really?
My phone literally goes off every 2 seconds, so I have to mute it because I'm like, guys, if it's important, just tag me because I can't look at my phone every 2 seconds.
I'm in so many of them where I do the same thing. I'm on the Snapchat ones. I have the notification, or I have it where it's like if I get tagged that or mentioned or whatever the hell it is, then I have it notify me. But the problem is that I still get notified so often, or they'll do the tag everyone, and I'm just like, I didn't need to see this right away.
But the thing is, so Snapchat has that thing where you can't like see the actual chat, which pisses me off. My phone, you'll be stunned, guys. My phone is always on mute. I never had it.
No, so is mine.
Yeah, I've never had it ring for 3 years because my parents always have to have theirs ringing, so it bugs the crap out of me. My mom literally changed hers to the tweet sound, so I think I'm getting a Twitter notification every time.
My father did that, or it's either X or it's something else. I don't remember what it is, but he did it.
It used to be Twitter. That used to be the Twitter notification. I don't know if it still is, but my mom has to do it for work, so I can somewhat pass that. But for me, my phone would be ringing every 30 seconds. It would just go doof doof doof. So of course I have to turn it off.
Jiminy Cricket. Anyway, to break into what we've got a great show planned tonight. Obviously, we are going to be running at the end slightly concurrently with college football playoff. So that is why we at least intended to start early. So I take responsibility for the fact that we really didn't. But we are looking forward to seeing what happens tonight between Ole Miss and Miami in the Fiesta Bowl. And then in the other game tomorrow is Oregon versus Indiana. Good luck to Brandon's Ducks. That game is tomorrow, and then the winners of those two games will meet not this coming Sunday, but not this coming Monday, but the following Monday in the championship in Miami Gardens on January 19th. So,
Brandon? Are you gonna eat a peach if you win? Because it's in the Peach Bowl. Do you have peaches ready?
I might. I'm gonna say right now, and I think everybody just knows this. Whoever wins the Peach Bowl is gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I might consider it. Listen, because I work at a grocery store. If we win, I legit probably would. Let's see, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, but I can't do it till Monday, or probably because I'll be coming home and the game will still be going on. So you'll have to wait till past the weekend. So.
Yeah, you should buy like a bunch of peaches and eat it on the show on Monday.
Or I might what I might do is I might buy them while I'm at work, just because I like peaches anyway. So
yeah, you should buy peaches. You either eat peaches in happiness or in sorrow.
Yeah, the salty tears add some extra flavor.
Oh my god!
Is that what the Peach Bowl is? Is it based on? Is it actually about peaches? It is, right?
I mean, every fruit bowl, like the orange bowl, they have the bowl of oranges.
Yeah, with Cheez-Its.
Yeah, which is so weird. Yeah.
And your obsession with the friggin' Pop-Tart bowl.
I love Pop-Tart bowl. Brandon is also in that. Also, the sugar bowl. Wait, the sugar bowl, do you just like take like a bunch of sugar and pour it in your mouth? Like, what do you do to celebrate the sugar bowl?
That's like a pixie stick.
Isn't it? Yeah. Isn't the sugar bowl just the one where they hold a glass? Isn't it the glass football one?
Right, but like it's a sugar bowl. You should just eat a bunch of sugar. Like have like 20 pieces of chocolate.
Yeah, you just take a dipstick and
yeah, that works too. So hang on a second. First of all, I got a new headset. How's my audio?
Oh, it's amazing.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome. I also was just fixing my volume because the output is hard to control on these. So in the world of the other side of football in the professional ranks, we had Black Monday on Monday. Obviously, that's kind of why it's called that. And we saw originally it didn't look like we were going to see as much turnover as we normally do, and that kind of tracked with what we normally heard. At one point, it looked like as few as 2 teams could potentially add on to the 2 teams that already made their changes, the Giants and the Titans earlier in the year, but it did end up being closer to what we normally see. We have 8 teams now that have done it, that have made changes. It kind of was sprinkled throughout the rest of the week. As recently as today, we saw the most recent team being the Miami Dolphins making changes and ousting Mike McDaniel. So I'm going to go through this. We're not necessarily rapid fire, but I'm going to ask kind of the same 3 questions, and we'll go through each team. Basically, are you surprised by the change? Do you agree with the change? And is this a desirable job? And also, if you want to throw in somebody that you think would be a good fit, you can throw that in as well. But we'll kind of just go in chronological order in terms of how these things went. I'm not going to worry too much about the Titans and Giants because we've already talked about those a lot. But the Falcons, we'll start with them. Rob, Falcons, those 3 questions. Are you surprised? Do you think it was the right move? And how desirable is this job for people?
I don't think it's the right move because I think that job sucks. I think that job is awful. You have to. I know. Look, Kirk Cousins will be a free agent. That's settled because they fixed his contract. He will be a free agent. But yikes! Like you need to make sure you got the right guy for Penix to work with. Maybe that is oh my God. Maybe it's Kingsbury. Maybe. Since he works so well with Jaden Daniels, Jesus Christ. But like, I don't know. Like, it's not desirable at all. I hate that job. The funny part is about that job is you only have to have 10 wins to be successful.
Yeah.
So that might help you, but who's been able to do that with Atlanta? Nobody. So it's not desirable at all.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I agree that, but for different reasons, I agree that the moving off of Raheem Morris, I didn't think was the right move. I mean, I get the fact that people are saying, the games that they won really only came either in garbage time or they only came when, they already were, this, that, or the other. They still were winning games that a lot of people didn't expect them to win. And I think that has to count for something. They still were in situations where they were getting. Realistically, I don't think that there's a ton of places where I don't think Michael Penix was in a situation where Atlanta was holding him back in any particular way. I don't think.
God. Wait, Scoop, I'm sorry to interrupt. I got something for the college stuff. The Sugar Bowl sponsored by Verbo. So if your team wins, you should go get a Verbo.
No.
What's a Verbo?
A Verbo is like Airbnb. It's
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Okay. And I just. Coaching candidates take a look at these things, especially in a situation now where the turnover really is more prominent than ever and your leashes are really shorter than ever. Who is going to want to keep taking certain jobs that they look at and they're potentially going to be looking at a job like this where it's like, oh wow, okay, you ended on a hot streak and you still potentially might not be good enough. Coaches who know that their first job may dictate their possibility of getting a second and potentially better one, they're not going to want to hitch their wagon to a situation like that, I don't think. Now, I do think that it makes somewhat sense to move off of guys or to move off of both Fontenot and Morris together, which is why I always thought that Miami moving off of Greer, moving off of Tua, but keeping McDaniel never really made a lot of sense. So we'll get into that one next. But I didn't really. That to me just felt weird the whole way, and I'm very curious to see where they end up going. Now, I like the fact that they're allegedly bringing in Matt Ryan as the president of football operations. That hasn't been finalized yet. They just interviewed somebody else today.
Oh, that's so gross. That's disgusting.
But let me finish. My understanding is that there's certain rules that they have to abide by in terms of interviewing and things like that. So I think it's to satisfy that. I think it's to abide by those rules. I would be shocked at this point, based on everything I've heard. I'd be shocked if Matt Ryan didn't get this job.
How is it good, Scoop? How is it good? He doesn't know football operations. He doesn't know a lick about it. He doesn't know anything. How is it good?
I mean, they just had 3 guys back to back who allegedly knew football operations, and this is where they are. So, I kind of look at it, and again, I know it's different sports. I kind of look at it a little bit like what we've seen in baseball happening now, where we've seen Craig Breslow take over the Red Sox, Buster Posey take over the Giants. Ironically, the 2 of them hooked up for a major trade this past year. But we're just seeing this more and more now, both in the general manager and the manager seat, or the general manager and the head coach seat. We're seeing it more in the NBA now. We've seen, what's his name? Thiago Splitter, I think, the interim head coach for the Portland Trailblazers.
He actually knows how to coach. He actually knows how to coach because he's a player. It's completely different.
But Matt Ryan was also a player.
But you're managing budgets. He doesn't know how to do that. You're managing.
No, but it's the president of football operations. Not the same. It's not the same thing. He's focused. He's
What happened?
Jeez, you hate my take. You hated my take that much?
Holy balls!
Choking like the Tigers at the end of the season here.
Oh my goodness!
Are you kidding me? That just broke. Are you kidding me? What the hell?
What?
Desmond Williams is going back to Washington. After all of that, he's going back?
What?
Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute.
Okay, now I understand what that was. What that reaction was about.
Oh my god! I choked on my sparkling water. That was such a surprise. Are you kidding me?
Holy crap!
Oh my god! They just announced it on College Game Day. Oh my god, man! You have got to be kidding me, bro. Desmond Williams is leaning towards the return to Washington. Williams announced he returned portal days after signing that he will now return. Are you kidding me right now?
I'm trying to look for it.
So am I. I'm not seeing it on X at all.
Hold on. It just got reported on College Game Day right now.
What's his name? Desmond. What's his last name?
Williams.
I am not seeing this at freaking all.
All I see is that he got dropped by his agent.
Right.
Yeah, that was hours ago.
Hold on. You'll see it. You'll see it. I'm putting it in the chat. This was just broke on ESPN that he's leaning towards returning. Are you kidding me right now? That's so dumb.
Oh, that's why, because I was spelling it wrong. That's why I didn't see it, because I was spelling it wrong.
Yeah, it just came out right now.
Okay, there it is. Now I'm seeing it because I.
Oh my god! I choked on my water.
Yep.
You cannot be this stupid. You cannot be this stupid.
Yeah, this is per Pete Thamel or whatever from ESPN. So yeah, okay. Now I see it.
Oh my god! I've never choked on anything while being shocked at breaking news. But that's disgusting.
It's like we all know one of there's multiple reasons. Hell, it's like hell. You're saying you're gonna leave. You do all that crap. You post that really insensitive farewell thing at a bad time.
Can I explain the whole thing first before we dive into this? So obviously I'm from the local area. I'm in Seattle, so I follow this stuff very closely. It's a lot easier to follow stuff when you're here locally. I mean, you guys know that, even being close to Philly. So basically, this is what I know. Some of this is everything I know, and this is what was rumored. So I'll merge them together. So basically, he signed a 1-year, $4 million extension. But I hate that we're talking about extensions for college players, but whatever. It's the life we live in. 1 year, $4 million. A week ago, done, dusted, good, perfect, right? A week later, he's like, "I'm entering the transfer portal." You signed a contract. What do you mean you're entering the transfer portal? And the rumor was, this is through the grapevine, LSU offered him $6 million, essentially. LSU offered him more money. Of course, LSU is involved in this. That's just a rumor. He announced that he's entering the portal when our women's goalkeeper at UW passed away from cancer. About a couple, I think it was a few months back. I could be getting the timeline wrong. All of the football players were there at the funeral. Pretty much everybody was there. It was a really sad and awful deal when it happened. Because she was battling cancer, I think, while she was playing and everything. And he announced it. Him and his PR team announced it while a bunch of the football players were at the funeral. Massively insensitive, awful. And then today, his agent is like, basically, I can't work with this anymore. I don't know I can't do it. And then now he announces he's coming back. I'll be honest, as a guy who went to UW, I don't want you back, dude. Get out of here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, why would they want him back at this point?
I know that you signed whatever. We a recruit from somewhere. I forgot where. I apologize. came in here a few days ago. They were talking to other people through the portal. I don't even want you anymore, dude. I don't care. This was a week-long saga that was completely wildly unnecessary. And the fact that you want to come back after all of it is awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. Brandy, you can continue from there. Anyway, that was just what happened, especially from someone here locally who's seen this whole process unfold.
Well, it's just, and before we get back, because we'll come back to the NFL coaching stuff in a second.
Yeah.
But the fact that broke just now, we have to talk.
No, of course, yeah.
But like, it ties into the whole thing tonight of how it's Ole Miss, and we know the whole story with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss and the coaching staff. But when I saw how many people left Ole Miss's coaching staff, for this game, like. I don't know what I don't know, like, the fine rules of CFB and what the transfer portal and taking jobs as coaches and what that all entails.
They need basically Brandon, they need the coaches there in order to recruit.
Yeah, but it's
what's more important though, recruiting for next year or coaching in a semifinal?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have They show that there was maybe a handful of coaches remaining from the staff from this season.
And by the way,
there's 10 guys that left the last 2 weeks.
I apologize for interrupting again, Brandon, but it's all offensive coaches. No defensive coaches left. It's all offense. Continue. Sorry about that.
It's ridiculous. There needs to be some. This is where the whole the whole NIL thing and the whole transfer portal and all these rules. I'm like, college football's structure as a whole just needs to be redone. This is pathetic. It's really pathetic.
Beyond pathetic. It's beyond. And you know what makes it worse? A lot of these agents that are representing these players are not certified to be agents. They're not certified at all. You could be someone's uncle and be like, "Hey, I love to be your agent."
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
you don't. In the NFL, guess what you have to be? You have to either represent yourself as a player or be certified.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I really I just can't understand why between players and coaches and all this stuff, why you're allowed to leave when you I get it if your season's over, then go. The second you lose a game, then everybody goes. Yeah. But if you're still playing for something in the semifinal or in the final, how is that fair to the teams that are trying to win a title?
And not just the teams, but the kid. This is I think a thing that's not being brought up enough, or maybe I'm just not seeing it brought up enough. Not all these kids are going to get a chance to compete for titles in the NFL. This is this is in some kids or some players' lives, their last opportunity to do this, or at least potentially their last opportunity to do this. Yeah. And you're effing them over by basically having this sort of brain drain, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how I would never. I mean, and it's nobody wins in that scenario. There's going to be bad blood between players on the team. Some players that choose to leave, and some that stay. There's going to be bad blood between the coaching staffs, and there's going to be then next year you're going to have all this storyline drama between Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, and then you're going to see a lot of it next year. And of course, all the media is going to feed off of that, and it's going to be one big thing, and tensions are going to be high.
I think they're playing each other next year too.
I mean, it's the SEC. They would have to. But I just cannot for the life of me understand why basically college football is the one sport where it's completely fine to screw over an entire school and your teammates and coaches, etc., just for personal gain.
And by the way, yeah, it's everybody doing this. It's front offices. We can call them front offices now. It's boosters. It's players, obviously with Williams. It's coaches with Link. It's unbelievable. And you know what? Joel Klatt brought up a great example on our local radio yesterday.
I love Joel Klatt.
So, he framed it as a Seahawks player. I'll frame it even better for you guys, just to anger you guys more.
Oh, what else?
What if Zach Bond? Remember how Zach Bond resigned this offseason?
Yeah.
What was his contract?
Was it a 3-year deal?
3-year deal.
3-year deal.
What if he goes to the Eagles facility, he signs on the dotted line, everything's good, you guys are excited, yeah, we got him back, and then 2 days later he's like, wait, I'm still a free agent. I'm not coming. I'm gonna go take more money else. Can you imagine if that happened?
I mean, Brandon will probably remember. I mean, you might too, obviously. I don't mean to knock you, but Brandon might remember about 11 years ago. Yeah. The reason the Eagles got DeMarco Murray is because they came to an agreement with former 49ers running back Frank Gore, and that basically is what he did. He backed out of the contract, and a couple days later signed with the Colts.
Right, but the thing is nowadays there's so many. I think partially because of that situation, there's so many rules in place in the NFL for that not to happen, or for it to be an incredibly rare occurrence.
What college football needs, because
that's where I was going with that. Was at least the NFL. The NFL, one of the reasons why they get so much praise and success, whatever you want to say about Roger Goodell and puppeteer owners and one thing or another, whatever you want to say about that, when crap like this happens, they are usually pretty quick to at least try and address it. They might not address it in a great way. That it may not go over particularly well, but they at least try. They at least show the effort, and they at least show this is what we're trying to do to make this not happen again.
Right. And college sports, I'm not just talking college football and basketball. I'm talking college soccer on the men's and women's side. It doesn't matter. We need some collective bargaining. This is actually the only solution, is a CBA. Because a CBA allows for video games to be easily made, which helps us. Because we want a college basketball video game. We do. Doesn't matter which company, or what companies. And also
not be Electronic Arts because they suck. But
it'll probably be 2K, which is even worse, but it's fine. You know what's amazing? EA, because they're like connected with players associations and stuff. They're the only ones that can do a college football game right now, which is nuts. But it's like,
that's nauseating.
Isn't that crazy? But
it's nauseating is what it is. But go on.
But at the same time, like we just need collective bargaining. Even if it creates lockouts, like we're seeing in the WNBA, they're about to go into a massive lockout that just got announced today.
Major League Baseball is a year away from that.
Right. It's like even if we get that, at least we get some semblance of connective tissue, where players can get their NIL money, get paid, do all these things, which they need to at all levels of college sports. But it can't just be this and you know what makes it even worse? You know what pisses me off more than anything? The NCAA is actively, you can tell, they're actively trying to make it so that this whole thing is such a mess that they go back to, oh, we don't want to play the players anymore. And everyone's going to agree with them, and people and we're just going to go back to the old days of players not getting what they deserve. That's what the NCAA is going to do, because the NCAA doesn't care about any of this. They want it to get as bad as humanly possible. They want a pro basketball player to play for flipping Baylor so that people get so pissed off, Congress gets so pissed off and says, we're done. NCAA, you make the rules, and we go back to the olden days. That is not what we want, but that's what we're heading towards, because the NCAA hates this, and they want it to get as bad as possible. It's just it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, the NCAA as a whole, whether they're going to say it or not, it's very clear that they want this to get as bad as humanly possible. So we go back to 2008. They're not going to do anything about it. They are not. It's that simple. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where college football, the playoff, nobody's going to care. Are we going to care about college? Are we going to care about March Madness if there's pro players everywhere?
Hell no.
No.
I mean, you just sent me the name of what the hell's the guy's name? James Nagy? Is that how you pronounce it?
James Nagy. Yeah.
Nagy. Okay, I was close. When you sent that to me, and I had heard about it, this wasn't my first time hearing about it, But when you sent me that link, I had to read it like 4 different times. I was like, "What the is going
crazy.
on?" I genuinely thought I was having an aneurysm. The way that I kept rereading it, I'm like, "There's no way I just read that correctly." I can't say it correctly either, apparently. But
and we can get to this right now because it's really stupid. Basically,
and then I have something else on NBA after that.
Perfect. So basically, this kid, this center, or not kid, I guess, he played at
not anymore.
He played at Barcelona. He played against Wemby in the summer league.
Yep.
Professionally overseas in the summer league. And then you know what's even worse? The NCAA has the audacity, after approving him, to say, "Oh, we don't want professional players in college ranks." You just did it.
Yeah, you allowed it.
You allowed it. So you can't go out there and say it. And again, like you're and this is the biggest thing of this whole thing that I love so much. John Calipari at
I was just going to mention that if you didn't.
Right. John Calipari at Arkansas said this, and it made me just go, thank you, because this needed to be said.
Does anybody care what this is doing for 17 and 18-year-old American kids? Do you know what this opportunity has done for them and their families? There aren't going to be any high school kids. Who, other than dumb people like me, are going to recruit high school kids? I get so much satisfaction out of coaching young kids and seeing them grow and make it and their family life changes that I'm going to keep doing it. But why would anybody else, if you can get NBA players, G League players, guys that are 28 years old, guys from Europe, do we really know their transcript? Do we have somebody over there? Do we really know their birth certificate? Or don't we? And then, look, Tommy Izzo, Mark Few, there are a bunch of us that are just, we got no rules. Why did they let that kid play? Tell us all. Here's what the reason. Then we'll all go get pros. Does anybody?
There you go. And who wants to watch March Madness when there's pro players everywhere? The magic of it is college kids. Jesus.
Yeah.
I will say, I do find it mildly rich that Mr. One and Done himself, John Calipari, is the one trying to spearhead this. But
but it's not. I get what you're saying, Scoop. But
he's talking about developing guys and bringing them through the ranks slowly.
No. It's not that at all. What it is he's saying, hey, I want to recruit college kids so that they're here for a year and are ready for the NBA. That's what he's saying. He's saying, I want to get these guys ready for life.
I misunderstood part of what he said.
No. What he's saying, it's not. These are the rules. The rules are one and done. Those are the rules. That's fine. What John Calipari has always done, look at what he's done with Anthony Davis. Like, he brought him in, we're going to develop you, and part of his recruiting pitch was, we're going to develop you, we're going to make you a good player, you're going to be ready for the NBA, you're going to be a top pick in the NBA, you're going to make a ton of money, and your family is going to be rich for generations. That's what he's saying. Why can't we allow that? Why, man?
And this is why I remember we had this discussion weeks ago about the whole, like, I'm glad that Nicole said it because I agree with it. This is why I hate the whole NIL thing, because this is what also opened up a whole can of worms. Because now the NIL and what comes with that is more profitable in some cases than professional sports. And it's like,
it is. It's 100% more profitable.
And it's like this is why part of this has just, they need to redo the rules surrounding all these different pretty much rules. I don't know how to say it, because this cannot keep happening where basically you're pushing out young talented kids in favor of basically ready-made players and whatnot. I mean, hell, even in college football, there's no reason why guys, like, listen, I get the whole eligibility thing, but we're past the COVID era. There's no reason why guys in college football should be 25, 26, 27 years old still playing college football.
unless you have a medical exemption. That's the only thing I'll say. And Nicole's right.
The only thing is, at what point does that run out? Because you shouldn't be getting medically exempt for 3 straight years and then play until you're 30.
No, absolutely. And Nicole's right. It shouldn't be pay to play. That's the biggest issue. The NIL needs to exist.
Yep.
These players need to profit off their image.
Which is okay.
But we can't have it be, oh, we're going to pay you more money so you can play here. And the thing that pisses me off more than anything, why does our federal government need to be involved? Doesn't our federal government have more things to worry about than college sports? Why is the NCAA relying on Congress to fix all of this?
You got to think about it, too. Anything that has to do with profit, especially in a capitalist society, they're going to have their hands in it.
And it's not only that, but also just, private enterprise or private versus,
right.
It's just they I don't love that they get involved in stuff like, and are you trying to show us your shirt?
No. I was just trying to get a remote and fix my computer.
Okay.
You're good.
Either way, I do have to start Yellowstone.
It is a good show. I've heard it.
It is a good show. Yeah.
Nikki also adds, NCAA got themselves into this mess. They can get themselves out of it.
Absolutely, they can, but they don't want to. Want to. They love this. They're like, oh, look at the mess we all made. Blah 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 blah.
They're not incentivized to. It actually, ironically, it is very similar to Congress. They're disincentivized to actually solve the problems because solving the problems means that less benefit for them.
Oh yeah.
Do we have anything else to add on this? Because if that will, I was going to pivot to the news that the NBA made this week.
Oh no, I'm sorry to interrupt your whole NFL coaches thing, but I literally almost died because of Damon Williams.
Look at the conversation that one player caused.
I heard that you almost died. I almost had to jump through the screen and give you the friggin' Heimlich.
Dog. And again, this is because this is happening in my freaking. This is happening 20 minutes away from my house.
Your backyard. Yeah, you're in the PNW.
Dude, this is happening 20 minutes away from my damn house. This is so stupid.
Real quick, Jody is in. Happy New Year, Jody says, boys, Nuggets backs are better than most starters. We'll see. NCAA will be gone in 5 years top. NCAA can't do anything when they won't be around in football 5 years top. We'll see.
It is true. It is true because honestly, the best course of action might be to say screw the NCAA, which would be hilarious. But I think it's actually the best course of action. I think it actually is.
I can't rule anything out at this point with what I've seen from the NCAA, or rather, what I haven't seen from the NCAA in the past few years. But we'll see.
By the way, the NCAA is not involved in the college football playoff at all. It is not. They're not involved in it at all. They're not involved in it. It's a private thing.
I really didn't know that, I guess.
They're not involved in it at all. They really aren't.
Thomas Promote is jumping in. That looks like a bot. Enjoy your 3 minutes from kick. Goodbye. You've been blocked from the server. But with that being said, any last points on this, or should we pivot to the news that broke from the NC or the ML? Holy shucks. NW.
There you go.
NBA, baby.
Yeah.
We're losing it.
We're good. I had a stroke trying to say this and bleeping died. But okay. So in NBA news this week, for those who missed it, there was a trade that came down between the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards of all teams. To send, because their defense wasn't bad enough, to send Trae Young to
turn on my light. I'll be right back.
To Washington. But in return, that was kind of what made people the most shocked, myself included. CJ McCollum, and forgive me, I'm trying to pronounce this surname of this other player.
Corey Kispert. He's a Washington kid.
Corey. Okay, I keep reading it because I took French for so long. I keep wanting to say Kispert. But okay,
Kispert.
Yeah. Okay, Kispert. Okay, so am I wrong in saying this? Yes, I understand why his value is so low. In terms of what they got back, this is worse than the Luka Doncic trade.
It's hard to say it's worse because Luka's a better player, but I get the sentiment.
But on a relative note, even for being, if we acknowledge the fact that Trae Young's not as high value of a player, what they got relatively speaking to his value is a further drop off in my vantage point than what the Mavericks got for, or what the Mavericks gave up for Luka.
But here's the issue. The issue is, and this is everything I got on this trade and when Ja Morant gets traded. Ja Morant and Trae Young had negative trade value. It wasn't at 0. It was like at a negative 1,000. Like nobody wanted them at all. Nobody wanted them at all. And I'll play this clip from Ryan Russillo because he was talking to an NBA executive.
I love Ryan Russillo. Ryan Russillo.
I'll play this because he was talking about why, because he reached out to some people in NBA circles as to why, and it makes like a ton of sense as to why. Let me see if I can find it. It's somewhere here, I think.
While you're looking for that, I'll also add they just said that they don't expect Trae Young to play for Washington this year. And
he's gonna play like a quarter of the games, by the way.
Well, no, they literally just said they don't expect him to play for Washington this year.
I would be stunned if that's the case. I would presume that he's gonna play just a little bit.
Well, either way, I'm just going off what just came out. But also on top of that, he has a player option for next year. So if he really
he's declining because they've already agreed on an extension.
Oh, he's already, okay. They have an extension. Okay, I was gonna say if you really made that trade without knowing that he was gonna opt in next year, then that is
no. They made that trade with the idea that the extension is
long term. Yeah,
they did that already.
Well, with the idea, or did they actually make the extension agreement?
They can't make it until the offseason, but it's done. It's done. They wouldn't make the deal until it's done. Okay.
It is the Wizards, so I never know. But okay, go on.
All right. Here's what Russillo said, and this is basically the gist of why he got no offers.
He doesn't defend. He doesn't rebound. Guys hate playing with him. So we had news over the weekend that Trae Young was, I guess, more available than he's been. Ownership, I think, is still a little on board. I'm like, are we sure we want to move like our star attraction? And if you want to win a basketball at this point, you have to move on. I don't even know if anybody's even debating this thing anymore. So I asked somebody in the NBA, I said, just give me a kind of breakdown of the Trae Young trade market. Quote, it's hard to think of a team that's trying to win this season that Trae would help, especially once you factor in what that team would be losing from the players they would have to send back as matching salary. He doesn't defend. He doesn't rebound. Guys hate playing with him. And then he asked me, can you name one team that's trying to win that Trae would help? And therein lies the problem. He doesn't defend.
Yeah, so there you go. That's why he had no trade value. It's that simple. And
I don't know why, but I don't know why, but the way he said guys hate playing with him, I laughed every time I heard that. For some reason, it just made me laugh.
Because it's true. Guys don't like playing with him. And so that's why and I'll be real. Could they have not gotten a gazillion second round picks, like at least 4 or 5? That's the one thing that
four or five. My ass, they didn't get one.
I know, but they should have gone. It's second round picks for God's sake. Like I
know, but I'm saying like you're saying they should have gotten at least 4 or 5. And I'm saying you're on that level. I'm saying they didn't even get a single one.
They got nothing. Brandon, go ahead.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
like I'm still trying to wrap my head around it that no matter how bad a guy might be, like attitude wise, you could always get something for somebody, especially a good basketball player. Now, granted, listen, he's only played 10 games this year, has trouble with Atlanta's front office and all that stuff. But also when you got to think about it, when they're saying that, guys hate playing with him. If I was Trae Young, I would hate my teammates too if they all suck and I was the only good player in Atlanta for 8 years. So not for nothing, but I don't. To me, I get what they're trying to say, but I can't understand how Trae Young has no value whatsoever, or how he even has less value than Ja freaking Morant. It is insane to me. I
think their value is about equal. Like we were talking yesterday.
Are we sure?
I would be pretty confident.
Well, I'll also add this. I will say, at least Trae Young's "quote unquote" lack of value seems to largely be from his on-court issues. Adding I mean, John Morant, we all know what the added baggage is that John Morant brings that also has come to the public sphere. Like that definitely has a large impact on it, I think.
Right. And absolutely true. But Brand and I were talking about this yesterday because he's a Nets fan. And when we get on the phone to talk NBA, it's all about the Nets, as it should be. But we were talking about, and I told Brandon straight up, because this is going to be the apt example. The trade deadline is in about a month. It's February 5th. If Michael Porter Jr. gets traded, which he will get moved, I'm pretty confident at this time that he will get moved. Look, he's not even playing today.
We don't keep anybody.
So when he gets moved, his value is going to be 1,000 times more than Trae Young. You're going to get at least 3 or 4 draft picks.
I mean, he's going to be an all-star probably.
Yeah,
so,
he will be an all-star. Yeah. So it's just like the value difference is going to be insane when we get there. I'd be surprised if it isn't that case. But like at the same time, like I'm just that's really the only thing that pisses me off about this deal. I get the fact that they didn't get a first-round pick. The value wasn't there. But the fact that you didn't just say, hey, can we just get a couple seconds? If you just said, we want a couple second-round picks, I don't understand why the Wizards wouldn't say no to that. Like, I just don't. I get that. Basically, I understand that the deal was, hey, we want to get him out of this building at all costs because he's hurting our team. I get that. Yeah. But you can't get, like, at least a couple second-rounders? Like, that's unbelievable.
I also have to bring this up. I've ranted about it before. I'm gonna do it again. I have to imagine, because look at the timing of when this happened. This happened on, was this yesterday or Tuesday?
It was yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. This happened on Wednesday. It was around Sunday that we started hearing Trae Young #1 choices to play for the Wizards.
Right.
Every freaking time we hear that a player's #1 choice or a player primarily or only or whatever wants to play for this team, that completely, I don't know what market Trae Young would have had, because I'm willing to bet teams either stopped calling or didn't even start making calls after that came out.
Right. But you know why he wanted to go to the Wizards? Because the Wizards have the most cap space. They can give him the most. They'll give him max. They could give him they're giving him all the money, and let's be honest, he has Alex Sarr to work with, and Alex Sarr has been amazing this year. So him and Sarr is a pretty good duo.
But we just heard from Ryan Russillo that people hate playing with him. How do we know that Alex Sarr won't also?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean, the only 2 teams that we heard, like, for the whole week up until he actually got moved, that were supposedly in on him, was Washington, because that's his destination, and maybe Brooklyn. That was it. Those were the 2.
I would have loved to see your reaction. I would have loved to see.
And New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans was very much in throughout the last few days.
Yeah, and then they dropped off by the end.
And they dropped off by the end because
forgive me. I think
then it was the Wizards. Yeah.
Forgive me. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Yeah, New Orleans was very involved. Up until last minute, yeah.
I would have had a conniption if we had traded for him. The last thing we need is more guys who can't defend. But at any event.
And by the way, we know what happened with him and DeJounte last time. So imagine doing that again.
I blocked that out of my memory. But it's crazy to me. You know, I mean, you talked about how on FAH. The last time you guys did that Senior Bowl thing or whatever it was, every time you guys do it, that a major trade happens. Yeah. We are now not even 12 months apart, and both Luka and Trae, who were traded for one another at the draft, both of them are no longer with their original teams.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
And one of them went to one of them went to the biggest market, or one of the 2 biggest market teams in the NBA, and the other one went to, I think, the 3rd biggest basketball program in the DC area.
Yeah. Since we're on a rage mode, can we do Olympic hockey?
Sure. Okay. And then and then we'll circle back to finish out with the coaching stuff with which we started.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I'm going to give you guys mainly the floor for the Olympic hockey, because you guys have been following this much more than I have. So I'm going to let you guys do most of the talking.
I have to find what the reports are or because there's reports new every day. But essentially, so the Olympic hockey arena is not done at all. Like, it's not even close to being done. And the Olympics is in a month. They're building it next to like a suburban area with houses next to it, which I don't understand either. They're just building it by like this random stretch of houses, like this random neighborhood, which I don't understand. Basically, everything I've heard is that the locker rooms aren't finished. They don't know how the players are going to walk out. The ice isn't finished, and it's not going to be the same dimensions as a pro hockey thing. And they don't know how fans are going to get in the arena.